Okay. All right, now we've arrived. You can see this water in the river, and we're right on the edge of our diversion that turns the water from the river channel into the Acequia Madre. You can see the water's running actually into the sluice of the Acequia Madre. And if there was a higher flow of river water, then where we're standing right now would be wet, because the water would be flowing that way and then also over across the top of the diversion. And that's where you guys are standing right now, so your feet would be wet if we had good water.
Does it flood a lot, or?
Well, because of the reservoirs and the dams up in the canyon, all the high flows of the water are generally held into the reservoirs, so we don't get high flows of water anymore. Only during some of the summer storms, like, you know, right now we're in our monsoon season. Everything is pretty wet, as you can see, and we've been getting good rains, but we haven't had any real cloud bursts. And when we get those, sometimes it can be a terrific amount, and sometimes the last 2 years we've had to rebuild this because it gets a lot of erosion from the high flows of water. About 10 years ago we started planting these native grasses right on the edge of it, and you can see them right here. And when a real high flow comes, those grasses have roots that go down about 18 inches. They really hold the soil. And what I'd like to do is, as time goes on, is to have the whole presa covered with grass. So when the high flows come, that we don't have to worry about it getting washed out.
Is it like, is the grass, does it affect any of the other plants that are here? Is it like invasive, or?
Oh, I mean, as far as...
or does it balance out? Is it good?
You mean what grows?
Yeah, does it like take over the natural things that were already here, or is
well,
it...
this is natural grass, so this is always growing along the edge of the ditch anyhow. You see all the grass, you can see the seeds on the top of it. It grows real tall. And so it's just a good natural grass. And this is what was in New Mexico when the Spanish arrived. And I don't know if you've heard stories about them talking about when they were bringing their horse, because they came in on horses, and the grass was tall enough to reach the belly of the horses.
Wow.
So that means the grass is this tall.
It's really fertile.
And so this is just the same grasses that have been here forever. And yeah, and when it grows pretty tight. Now this stuff here is more of a problem. This is what we call a yellow clover. Sometimes they call it wild alfalfa, and it's in the clover family. And it's really tough. It holds too, because it's got roots that go like that, and you can't hardly even pull them out of the ground.
So this is more of a problem than...
Yeah, this is more of a problem. Now we're going to walk back down, and we'll go across the bridge, and then we'll go down to the head gate. And since there's lots of water, we'll be able to divert some water into the Acequia Madre. You can see how that does and what the sluice gate does. And that'd be our next stop.
Sounds good. Thank you.